Good morning everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Scotty Make Stuff Pro case for the DJI Pocket 3. In my case it's the tripod base one. Let's have a look. Most of you are probably familiar with the case that comes with the DJI Pocket 3. It's an okay case if you just want to take it in and out of your pocket and aren't worried too much about how things are covered, and if you just need to take it in and out all the time. If you're worried about having it really well protected on all sides, that's where the Scotty Make Stuff cases come in. First, let's take a look at the case and its interior features. You can see that it's all felt lined on both the top and the bottom part of the case. And on the inside, there's a metal piece that allows you to put any of your lenses or filters in, and they will magnetically stick to the interior. Now, let's take a look at how easy it is to install this case. It literally takes a few seconds. Now, once the case is on, you'll see that it's quite easy to take the hood off and on by just pressing these two buttons on the side. And then it comes equipped with 6 1/4-20 mounts, including one on the bottom, which is important, so that allows you to put on tripod mounts or anything that you would want to stick on the bottom. It also comes with an optional belt clip, which I don't personally find that helpful since it doesn't hold on securely, but it allows you to hook on something. In my case, I like to hook it on a strap that goes across my chest on a backpack. It also comes with 2 cold shoe mounts, which in my case I have one with a magnet in the middle of it so that I can put on my Instamic directly connected to the magnet quickly. And it also comes with an optional GoPro mount, which is useful to some, not personally something I'll use very much. The next thing that you'll notice is how well protected the entire camera is, especially when the hood is on. Now, from the pros side of things, it's very easy to install. It's very quick. You can just slide the camera in and then screw it in through the 1/4-20 on the bottom. It gives full coverage of the Pocket 3, including the screen and controls. You also have many mounting options, which I mentioned before. You have 6 1/4-20s, especially once the clip is on, and one on the bottom, as well as 2 cold shoes. Will allow you to put on pretty much anything you can think of, from extra lights to your iPhone. Another major plus is that you have easy access to your micro SD card without taking the case off, as well as the USB-C port for charging. As I mentioned, you can still mount something on the bottom. In my case, I use a Ulanzi Valcam F38 plate so that I can put it on any kind of selfie stick or a tripod quite easily. Another big bonus is that there's never any need to take the case off. Everything is accessible and usable with the case on. And while it does add size, you can still fit it in a jacket pocket. I wouldn't put it in any pants pockets, as a lot of people will think you're very happy to see them. But it's actually very useful for being able to hold in a jacket. And as I mentioned before, it'll actually hold your wide angle and a filter on the inside of the hood using the metal interior. Now, on the con side, this does add a fair bit of size and weight to your camera. For those who are trying to keep things super light, this might not be a great thing. For me personally, I like to have that extra protection, but I do notice that if I have the camera on a selfie stick, I can really start to feel it after a little while. Another thing that I don't love is that where the belt clip is, there's no centered 1/4-20 mount where I would like to put a plate or something else that I can clip things on easily. Another thing that makes things difficult, especially if you're doing something like cycling, is it requires 2 hands to remove the cover. Also, the gimbal has little protection if dropped, but I don't see any way around this unless you put a cage, which would reduce how much the gimbal can rotate. What I also find is that the micro SD card can be a little difficult to remove from the camera. This is because the edge of the case is just close enough to it that makes it hard to get one of your fingers low enough so that you can use your fingernails to pull out the micro SD. Also, one that I've heard mentioned that doesn't bother me, but there's no water protection on the ports. This is something that, to me, if it was something that was really important to you, you could just put a piece of tape over those ports if necessary. Although I wouldn't bring this thing out in the rain no matter what, especially since the gimbal isn't protected either way. So that should do it for my mini review of the Scotty Make Stuff Pocket 3 case with tripod base. As you can tell by the list of pros that I had versus the list of cons that I had, I really enjoyed this case. It's something I bought with my own money. It's not something I'm being paid to review here, but I did have their slimline case for the Pocket 2, and I knew that getting the Pro case would be something that I would enjoy having. There are a couple things I would improve on it, but it's definitely worth having, and it's something that doesn't come off of my camera anymore, regardless of how much snow that I'm in these days. Anyways, have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.